Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your Metal Market Wrap-Up, and this wrap-up is for the evening as we're here now on Tuesday, and we're sitting here now at the 3rd of February, 2026, 6:25 p.m. Central Time. Up another $70 tonight in gold, so coming back up. Silver up another $2. Now, silver had one wild range today. At one point, it was up 12, 13%. Gave up a chunk of that, but it's still a market that's doing better. Copper market is trying to stabilize at the $6 level, and you're up another $30 in the platinum market. The stock market took it on the chin today as Anthropa came out with a brand new AI tool that went after the legal industry, because there's a lot of software there that lawyers use to write contracts, review things, and they've come out to disrupt that whole thing. And that sent that market down. And that's what you're getting. You're getting a lot of volatility early in the year, and that is what the markets are paying attention to. Now, in terms of news, let's go to that for the moment here. The Mortgage Bankers Association will come out with their numbers at 6 a.m. We're going to get the ISM coming out with their January service sector index at 9. We'll get petroleum stocks at 9:30. Iran is changing the deal already before the talks even get going this Friday. So they've changed the talks. They don't like the United States' agenda, let me say it the right way. And what they've done is they now said they're willing to talk about the nuclear part. No missiles will be discussed, not anything about them providing money to the insurgents in the Middle East. They don't want any part of that. And they've decided that they don't like to have the meeting in Turkey. They want to have it now in Oman. I think it's Oman. I think that's where they said. So I don't know what the U.S. is going to do. The U.S. did shoot down a drone today that apparently Iran sent by the carrier group there, the Abraham Lincoln carrier group, and that didn't last very long. That got blown out of the sky, and the rest of the ships are still coming in. I think they're testing President Trump too rough, and I think they're going to regret that if they don't watch the moves that they make. I didn't realize this talk wasn't going to be just between the U.S. and Iran. They had invited a whole slew of countries, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, I can go on and on, everybody in that region, if you will, to these talks. So we will see just what it all means and if they go forward. That'll be the big thing. The other news of the day, the U.S. House of Representatives did pass the bill. It was signed by the president shortly thereafter. So the government is back open for 2 weeks, and now serious debate is supposed to take place to get funding for the Department of Homeland Security and get this whole thing wrapped up. So we won't get the jobs report. We won't get jobless claims, but we'll probably get them the week after. That's better than not getting them at all like we did last time. So let's go back to the chart action for a little bit here. You can see bonds and notes are stable tonight. A little bit more of a rally in the energies. There should be, because the idea here was maybe they'd fall down if Iranian oil can come back on the market. Now that Iran doesn't want to talk about its missile program, it doesn't want to talk about monies to insurgents, just what do they want to say about the nuclear program? Is that even palatable at all? The U.S. has nothing to lose by going into the meeting, listening, making its own demands. But if they don't get there and get to a point where the U.S. can do it, the president can go ahead and do whatever he wants with all that naval power he's putting together. So we'll see where that comes in. Now, I want to make a change, and I'm gradually going to work into it. I want you to look at how the charts read. You now know what we've got. This is the COMEX Gold, the 100. I'll be working with this a little bit here and what the numbers are in the trade and the times and all. This is right now the weekly chart of closes. That's your 18-day moving average of closes, and you can see where you're at on all this. Let me fix that. That should have been right like there. So you still have upside bias, and on a closing basis, you're very close to the all-time highs. When we do a daily bar chart, and I'm just going to show you a few of these at the beginning, and then they'll all come together. You can see the wild swings that you're getting in this market. I mean, it's crazy, the high lows as to where you're going. As we step over to the market, you can see the swing line has got the number up here, then a lower low than that low. You're not into anything at this point. And in the moving averages, there's the 200, the 100, the 18. The bias is up because you're over the 18-week average. The resistance will be the Bollinger Band high, coming in all the way up this time at 53.57. And in terms of the momentum, it's no longer pointing down from the slow stochastic. Now, when I get rid of that, the other charts will starting to look, and you'll see what I'm doing, sort of like this. Here's your gold-silver ratio. It's colored in gold because instead of needing just 43 ounces back here of silver to get an ounce of gold, you're already up to 58.48. Then these are what the regular charts I intend on looking like, and you already know the format. You've got your Bollinger Band resistance there, the support of the Bollinger Bands here. You have the 18-day average of closes. So when we look at COMEX silver, it's different because while you have the higher high, lower low pattern, you also have a market under the 18 day moving average of closes. That gives the market a downside bias at this point, and that's what's hurting the gold-silver ratio. When we go to the copper market, you can see how the market's been fighting a battle. It's day after day almost at the 18-day average of closes. I hope you're watching that. And when you really look at the Bollinger Bands, you're caught in there with flat momentum. I'm going to call the bias up in the market, momentum trying to move higher, but not a true trend in the market. You destroyed these markets with that crazy action that you had at the end of the week. When we get to the platinum market, you can see the higher high, the lower low, and where you're at, you've got a downside bias. So gold is the strength of the market. Copper's acting a bit better too, as you can see. When we come to the dollar index, you have higher lows, higher highs. I've been telling you each night that I think as you get up towards the 18-day average, the 100 and the 200, that's where the resistance in the market will be. I am still very much long-term in the dollar bear camp. It can change, but I have no reason to change it at this point in time. Now, if you want to join us for our research and so on, just move your cursor to the top up here. You can move over here if you're watching us on YouTube, or go to iraepstein.com. And when you're there, just look at the top. You'll see the word research. Give it a click, and away you go. I'm Ira. I'll see you in the other videos. Have yourself a great evening. Catch up with you in the morning as well. Take care.